2, 1. We are live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Off the Rails podcast. I am Trey Griggs, and that is
Dalton Edwards. Today we have a very special podcast. Now, as you know, we've done reviews of. Sorry we couldn't do Extreme Rules. I had other plans, and I wasn't able to watch it fully. But we currently. We are currently very upset with the WWE, and I'm sure anybody who's been watching it the past few weeks have been upset.
We're going to be covering a lot of content in this episode, so buckle up, get some popcorn, get a nice relaxing blanket, tuck your kids in bed, maybe smother them. All depends on what you...
I just got the hiccups, Trey. I'd recommend you get a drink, boy.
Alright, so we're going to tackle this issue head on. So what is wrong with the WWE currently?
Right now, the WWE is saying... This is what WWE are showing us. Right now, WWE is saying, hey, our ratings are down and we know that, so let's get our ratings up with, I don't know, let's start with Raw Reunion. That just happened yesterday.
Well, as good as Raw Reunion was...
Good? Okay.
You don't think Raw Reunion was good?
They only did Raw Reunion because they wanted the views. If you walked up...
AEW effect is real. The AEW effect is in fact.
The only reason why WWE is doing what they're doing is so they can try to beat AEW and be like, and not even mention AEW.
Unless you're Sami Zayn.
I think Raw Reunion was, I'm gonna be honest, it was basically a kick in the face for me. Cause sure, I love seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? My favorite wrestler. If you told me Stone Cold was gonna be on TV, I'd be like, heck yeah, I'm watching, right?
Right. It's
but you know who? Do you know who else is gonna watch that?
Every nostalgic wrestling fan?
The casual viewer. They're not trying to bring in the hardcore fans or full on, hey,
this.
I love WWE.
If you're a casual viewer and you know enough about WWE that SummerSlam is up, if you were to tune in next week, what build was there for SummerSlam besides Becky Lynch and Natalia? What
exactly.
build was there for SummerSlam?
And I don't want to sound mean, but it made a fool of the club. That segment.
I think I think it's a fine rebranding.
I mean,
I don't think the champion should be looking weak on TV like that, but
the champion should never look weak. If you are a booker, your champion, and you are booking it, your champion should never be on the losing side unless you want it to be, oh hey, it's an upset, and guess what? You have a title shot.
On TV, at least.
On TV. Now, if it's a pay-per-view, yeah, you could lose. Get the shock value or whatever. But I think Raw Reunion was rushed. Not like if they announced it for a month from now. Sure, that would give you everybody. That would be like, oh hey, they're actually gonna think about this. Raw Reunion was basically, hey look, this is what we used to have. And look, hey, Stone Cold, hey, where have you been? That's basically what I don't know how to explain it. But it's a rushed show, and it doesn't give you any...
I think the 24/7 championship is awesome. I think it's very entertaining. I don't like our truth with it, but I think it's very entertaining.
See, I didn't mind all the legends winning it. I thought that was pretty funny. But what did it do? Sure, it got Drake Maverick his title back. Or no, it got R-Truth his title back. Because he basically won at the end of the night, right? There was or something. At the end of the day, who is the current champion, Trey?
Well, that's hard to keep track of.
Who is the current champion of... Who's the current 24/7 champion? As of right now. Drake Maverick, are you sure?
Drake Maverick.
It's not Drake Maverick. It's R-Truth.
Oh, it changed on SmackDown?
Oh, did it change on SmackDown?
I don't know.
But I remember... Remember R-Truth drove off? Oh, somebody watched and then they gave up. But remember when it was R-Truth pinned Drake Maverick and left with Drake Maverick's wife?
What?
Yes. Pretty sure. That's what happened.
On the contrary, besides the Charlotte Flair crap and the main event on SmackDown tonight, Eric Bischoff's SmackDown was great. Paul Heyman's, on the other hand, I don't know.
Paul Heyman's not running it. If you think...
I don't know, man. Even though he's not being featured well, Mike Kanellis is being featured, and quite frankly, you gotta admit, Paul Heyman's a big Mike Kanellis guy. Mike Kanellis has gotten a great amount of exposure and a great amount of attention on. Yeah, it's a negative way, but he's got attention on him. Raw.
May not be the best attention, but he got some attention.
So there may be Paul Heyman-y aspects of Raw. However, I do not think that Paul Heyman has full control of Raw as of right now.
He does not. If you tell me that Paul Heyman booked all of this, if you tell me Paul Heyman booked all of that, I would tell you you're stupid.
I've got one issue with Raw Reunion.
What was your issue with Raw Reunion?
Where in the world were Godfather posed?
I don't know. You have to ask Godfather.
That's what I'm very frustrated about.
But anyway, I just want to point out that the current 24/7 champion. Who is the current 24/7 champion as of right now? As of Raw 25.
I'm gonna say Drake. I'm gonna say R-Truth.
It's R-Truth. Now, R-Truth. Who is the title holder before SmackDown or Raw?
R-Truth.
What good did that do for anybody else?
Featured legends on the show. They had to plug it in somehow.
Yeah, they plugged in legends, right? At the expense of your younger superstars.
So? At this point, it's gonna happen. There's nothing we can fight. I just don't like people on Twitter that are getting mad and saying, "Why take it so seriously? Just watch the show and have fun." If you have a passion for wrestling and you watch it passionately, the casual viewer telling you to have fun and watch it, that is bad. If you're a passionate wrestling fan, you dig at this company because you want good content. Look at 205 Live, NXT UK, NXT. Good content.
Especially NXT. NXT is just the best content of all time.
One of this thing that's being held down right now is this freaking no wrestling during commercials crap, and these 2 out of 3 falls matches, which there wasn't on this, which hopefully it's a new change. in a positive direction. However,
I'm
the
listening.
revival. Oh, the revival. Where do I even get started with the revival?
Okay, I was wondering that. I like the revival. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a huge revival fan, but I love their work. Now with the revival, who got buried at Raw 25?
Here's my issue. If you haven't seen the revival versus DIY at TakeOver Brooklyn 2 and the 2 out of 3 falls rematch at TakeOver Toronto, then you can't call yourself a revival fan. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Somebody told me the only way they had a good match with them is because they had DIY.
No.
Excuse me. They call me stupid. But DIY, or not DIY, the revival. They are currently the most underrated tag team in WWE.
No. Not underrated.
And who is it? Who is the most underrated tag team in the WWE?
Viking Raiders? Or the War Raiders?
They haven't been buried yet.
Yes, I have.
How have they been buried?
They're still facing enhancement talent, Dalton.
They're still building them up.
They were gone for 6 weeks for some ungodly reason, and they come back, and they're still being fed enhancement talent. They don't need enhancement talent. They don't need to be built up. Have you seen their NXT match? Have you seen their Ring of Honor stuff? Have you seen War Machine? They don't need built up. The revival, in the eyes of a casual viewer, are not buried because they have the titles on them. The only reason they have those titles is because they can go to AEW and because they won out.
Yes, that's the only reason why they have the titles.
Speaking of cringe, I miss 2018 Seth Rollins IC Championship. This new Seth Rollins being a big old company guy is really getting me cringe. It's really cringing me out.
What do you mean by big company guy?
Have you seen his tweets?
What, like calling out every freaking minor promotion?
Saying that oh, what's it called? Saying that
all I know is he went on like a huge feud with Will Ospreay.
It wasn't really much of a feud. But saying that WWE is the best wrestling there is. They have the talent in the roster where it could be, but it's just not because that old man that runs it. I think Vince McMahon is a great businessman, but he cannot promote anymore. He cannot book anymore. He is too out of touch. And that's okay to admit, but he won't admit it when he needs to go.
See, I don't think Vince McMahon has to go. I like what he's doing like backstage and everything. But
no, that's
Vince McMahon, he overrules everything.
These executive positions mean absolutely nothing now because of this. Nothing. They mean absolutely nothing because everything goes through Vince, and that's where you can, and the fact that they're so that you got people like Sami Zayn getting fed quotes by Vince McMahon, trashing the company. They're self-aware. They know what's going on. Don't address. If you're going to address the issue, fix it. You've got people cutting promos in the back and stuff like that. Like Sami Zayn's promos have been great, but they're all fed. Speaking of which, Seth Rollins' promo on Raw. Was I watching a freaking James Ellsworth promo? Seriously, was that a James Ellsworth promo?
I agree. I thought it was. I thought
he's like a human quote machine.
I thought that promo was basically. I thought that was an off-script promo. I really did. making fun of Brock. I thought that was an off-script promo, and he basically just said whatever he could, and he couldn't come up with anything.
I'll be right back. You judge the viewers. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let my dog out. Oh.
So back when Trey comes, one thing that really I think it pisses me off so much about WWE. Not good booking opportunity, but just good booking in general. If WWE could book better, if WWE could let their superstars talk to you, but there's a lot of wrestlers who are basically pushed and they can't seem to get TV time. Now Kevin Owens, I think he's just been going off script saying what he wants, but I like what Kevin Owens is doing. I just like to say, Buddy Murphy has not debuted on SmackDown yet. Ali hasn't had a match on SmackDown yet since he freaking turned. You have workhorses like Daniel Bryan, for example. He just had a tag team title match at Extreme Rules. He was in the All-Star Battle Royal, but that's it. You have very talented wrestlers. You have very talented microphone performers. You have very talented just
I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Alright. But you have very talented people for everything. Now, I'm gonna just say, I'm going all over the place, so I don't really care. I like Bray Wyatt. I like what he's doing now to split personalities, as you just saw on SmackDown. But Bray Wyatt, he hasn't had a match yet. Now, I hate how he's going after Finn Balor, because we've already seen that crap too many times. WWE's just like, oh, hey, look, new character. You will have another feud, because guess what? We ran out of ideas for you. WWE, in my opinion, has one of the best talents, one of the best talented rosters in the world. They have the biggest name value. WWE has the biggest name value over like AEW and Ring of Honor. But I think WWE has the most talent. Or is one of the most talents. Now Trey, I'm just saying, as I just told the viewers, I just went on a huge rant about how certain superstars are getting the spotlight. And I just like to point out, Buddy Murphy hasn't debuted on SmackDown yet. Ali hasn't had a match since his injury.
He's not in the match.
Exactly. Aleister Black's gone to nothing. He had a great match with Cesaro, and then he feuds with Cesaro. He fights Cesaro on SmackDown. Now,
what's the real? People will claim it's because of the Fox deal, but what's the deal with the Wildcard Rule?
Okay, don't even get me started on the freaking Wildcard Rule. If you want to have
Roman Reigns, we know that.
Okay, if you want to have a certain, come on.
It's Alexa Bliss.
If you want to have certain wrestlers on certain shows, if you want to bring in your viewers, you know what you should freaking do?
Make them free agents?
No. You either, one, end the brand split, as it basically is now, or you redraft everybody. if you want to have Roman Reigns on SmackDown and Raw, you make Roman Reigns a free agent. If
you want to have Alexa Bliss for some ungodly reason, because she's not anything special in the ring, and her promos are the most cringy things I've ever heard. So I don't know why they want her on a full-time basis. She's god awful. But
hang on, Trey.
What is this crap with Nikki Cross? What happened to Nikki Cross? This isn't the NXT Nikki Cross I remember.
See, that's what Vince McMahon doesn't understand. You have NXT guys coming up. Let's take one for example. Let's go with the Ascension. Remember who the Ascension are?
He's sabotaging these guys' careers just to prove to himself that he's hip and that he just wants them on the main roster to prove that he can have them and do something with them, whether it's good or bad.
When was the last time the Ascension wrestled in a match that wasn't on main event?
I don't even know what brand they're on. That's sad.
Now, I'm not saying that the Ascension are the best thing in the world, but if you repackage them right now, I'm sure they could be the top talent in your tag division. Speaking of the tag division, go ahead, Trey.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on the freaking tag division. Remember when the Ascension were the longest reigning NXT tag team champions of all time?
Yes, I remember that. What happened to that? What happened to the Ascension being the hottest thing in tag team wrestling? Now, if WWE was like, oh hey, we need the Young Bucks. Oh hey, we need Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes to be the best. You don't need. I'm just saying, you don't need. WWE doesn't need all-star talents to be in their tag division. You know what they should do right now if they want to freaking light up the tag division?
What?
You have one title. It goes in between both brands. So basically, it's the floater belt. You have Universal, US, Women's on Raw. You have WWE Championship, Intercontinental Championship, and SmackDown Women's on SmackDown. And then you have the tag division floating. Sure, that will give less time to, oh hey look, heavy machinery. It will probably give less time to those people who want to challenge,
Dalton, they can't do that. Remember, you have to realize they can't do that because they have to give SmackDown Moment of Bliss segments to a Raw superstar. Don't forget about that. Alexa Bliss is the top priority for some ungodly reason.
Back on the tag division. Right now, who's SmackDown Tag Team Champions? I can't even remember. Oh wait, it's the New Day.
Yeah.
How many times have they held that title?
Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan got screwed. I don't like Otis, but
The Caterpillar.
That Stomping Grounds match made you realize who Heavy Machinery was, and then just poof, just snap a finger, all the momentum and all the credibility, gone.
You snap your finger Thanos style, and you're gone. You have one good match and you're gone.
Don't even get me. Oh, speaking of tag division, the women's tag team division, the freaking women's tag team division.
Oh, well, I'll get on that later. Hang on. Back on my. I'm gonna go to the women's division, to the women's tag team division. Give me 2 seconds, Trey. Give me 2 seconds. I have a great idea.
I have something to say when it comes to that.
Say it.
You're gonna have a great chamber match, and then put them on Bayley and Sasha, which is what we wanted, and have them good wrestlers, and you drop them to the moronics. They're not even talented in the ring. They're not good heels. They're not funny. They're cringe. And then Alexa Bliss is gonna go on Twitter and have the audacity to blame Sasha Banks for quitting on WWE when they screwed her out of what should have been a great title reign. They gave it to the moronics. Remember when Charlotte, what was that overbooked mess of a main event at WrestleMania? First it was Becky and Charlotte, then Becky was out, then Charlotte was in, then it was both Becky and Charlotte, then Ronda relinquished the title, then she came back the next night and said it, and then if Becky beats Charlotte, Then she gets to face. So it was a triple threat match, and then Charlotte beat Asuka, and then there was a winner-take-all match, and then they separated the belts next month. Like, what was that for? Like, the first what overbooked mess. The first ever women's main event could have just been Becky versus Charlotte. Becky versus Ronda. They probably promised Charlotte Flair the first women's main event, which is fine. Make a triple threat match to either the Raw or the SmackDown. Don't do winner-take-all. What you should have done is given Becky her moments. And then it doesn't have to be. You
know what I think?
It could have been.
This would have
been a great main event at WrestleMania. Asuka and Charlotte, the rematch. That would have been a great main event.
And guess what? I wouldn't be mad about that. No. You know why? Because I would have had. You don't like Charlotte, but
Mania, right? But she got eliminated at the Women's Battle Royal. Who won that? Carmella.
But
for what reason?
If you would have had that rematch at WrestleMania, I would have a heel Asuka. Hear me out. Heel Asuka. Versus, I'd say she injures Charlotte, right? Like Charlotte's
at the point in her career where everybody knows what's going on, that she will never be able to be face again. Even if they try, she's still going to get big. So,
I agree. So never mind.
Realistically here, fantasy booking is always fun to do. But thinking realistically here, I don't think Charlotte could ever be portrayed to be the face ever again. Like, except in the eyes of a casual viewer, or those idiots on social media.
I have a question.
Besides that,
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I just went off the screen. At WrestleMania 34, when Charlotte beat Asuka, was that WrestleMania 34? Or am I just going nuts?
It was WrestleMania 34 because I was there.
Okay, thank you. What match was Becky Lynch in?
The Women's Battle Royal.
Guess what? You take the title.
Stuff was done.
You take the title.
Was done correctly because she got over on her own. When she turned heel, it was lightning in a bottle. She got over on her own. The fans got behind her with this man crap. And then Vince McMahon had to just stick his nose in it, and now look. Everyone wants that title off Becky and off the TV. Her and Seth Rollins was pure cringe on the TV.
They only did that.
And it sucks.
Because they're like, oh hey, Baron Corbin, you're getting booed. I wonder why. Oh, the fans must definitely hate you. Let's put you in 2 title matches.
Because Vince McMahon does not like people getting over unless he did it himself. He doesn't like getting people over themselves. He has to be right up there with it, and he can't do that anymore. It's okay to admit it. How many years has Vince McMahon been doing this? Close to 40. Time to hang up the boots, brother.
Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned, and I'm surprised we haven't mentioned it.
And they don't want to mention AEW as legit competition when it's not even competition. AEW is leagues better than WWE. Look, study. Like, if you're, okay, high school football players, study tape to get better. AHL hockey players have to play with NHL hockey players to get better. If you don't give some of these guys satisfaction of a main event match at WrestleMania to get better, then they can't get better. You can't just pick and choose. Drew McIntyre, 3MB, jobber, left, went to ICW, went back to Scotland, went to TNA, and got better, got signed, and he's in a prime position. He's in a prime position right now.
However, if Vince McMahon stays with WWE and Vincent Kennedy McMahon still runs his shows,
it won't be better because right now it's Stephanie McMahon who will get the reins, and it's terrible because Stephanie McMahon is not much better.
But as I'm saying, Drew McIntyre, he won't become the Scottish psychopath. He will become a big loser. He will be like the Ascension, forgotten only if he has someone behind him. Now, when he came up with Dolph Ziggler, when they were a tag team, I thought that was pretty okay. Drew McIntyre's going to turn heel. They're going to have a match. Great things for Drew McIntyre coming up. Nope. Dolph Ziggler decides to leave, and then Drew McIntyre's stuck, and where is he now? Oh, hey, look! He's with Shane McMahon, who shouldn't even be on a TV screen.
I wish Dolph Ziggler would have stuck to his word, because I have a friend of mine that I know that went to one of his country club comedy shows, and he said that if he does not get what he wants, he is leaving, and that was a singles match at WrestleMania. Not a title match, a singles match at WrestleMania, he was leaving. And he came back to the Saudi Arabia show with that big old paycheck and re-signed his contract. I don't understand. Like, if these guys are really passionate about wrestling, they wouldn't care about the money. They would do it because they want to wrestle.
Exactly. Now I get it. Travel.
One of the best sellers you'll see on the main roster, but he's miserable. I'm sure he's miserable back there.
Who?
Same with the club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Whatever.
But who'd you say beforehand? I missed it. Sorry.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. Yes. He's not even on TV anymore. It should have been me. Oh my God! Get out of here.
H. Think about this. Triple H running NXT. He lets these guys, they tape in advance, they get their tapings, they have the priorities. Guys like NXT UK, guys like Pete Dunne and Travis Banks and Tyler Bate and Walter and Pete Dunne. They all wrestle for Progress and RPW and all kinds of areas. For Progress mostly. He allows them to do that because Triple H knows how good the indie wrestling business is for NXT. Vince McMahon is basically a slave. Basically a slave owner in the WWE. It's basically how it is. Right up, Dalton.
Just got the invitation. I'm joining back. Hang on, it's loading. There we go. Back. Sorry, lagged out.
You still alive?
Yes, I'm here.
Is Kyle on her phone or something? Cause you're lagging bad.
Am I?
Yeah, is Kyle on her phone or something?
Probably. Hang on. Okay, so where were we at? What was I talking about? I said... Short-term memory. Okay, yeah, I remember what I was talking about. We have somebody who was going to get a match at SummerSlam. And guys like Ali and guys like Buddy Murphy, they won't even be on the show. They won't even be on the show. And guess what? This man named Shane McMahon, I don't know if it's the booker when Shane McMahon returned at WrestleMania, or returned to fight The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
He's turning to everything he was against.
I remember when Shane McMahon, remember? I thought the deal was he wrestles 5 times a year, right? Isn't that what the deal was? Something like that. He wasn't even supposed to wrestle.
His contract states that he only needs to have 2 matches a year. He can have a match at Mania, feud at Mania, maybe compete in the Saudi events, and support Team SmackDown for Survivor Series. That is all he needs to do.
And I wouldn't be upset with that. Don't get me wrong, I like Shane McMahon, but this is some crap of what's going on with him. He just needs to learn.
And it's not his fault. People say online that Shane just can't play a heel. Do you not remember the invasion? Do you not remember the Unholy Alliance? Do you not remember the corporation? All of that. Do you not remember him buying WCW? That was good heel.
Do you not remember?
So don't say that he can't play heel, because he can.
I'm just upset with WWE. Don't get me wrong. They would be
It sucks because our voices will never be heard to them.
I'm gonna lag out the party. I'm about to lag out the party. My game. Oh, never mind, I'm here.
Why are you lagging so bad?
Because my game's lagging. But anyway, as I was saying, he just needs to get off our TV. Now, after SummerSlam, sure, I get he's wrestling at SummerSlam. But, at the extent, he's probably going to beat Kevin Owens. Think about it. He beat Roman Reigns in the Saudi Arabian event to get heat.
Right.
He beat... Or, no, he just lost to The Undertaker. And Roman Reigns.
Hopefully this match with Kevin Owens like right off.
What else does Shane McMahon have to do? Think about it. In WWE, what else does Shane McMahon have to do? What else does he have to do? He's won titles there.
You do know that